Part 2. I left home with my daughter in my arms. We took a luxurious car straight to a 5-star hotel, where I booked a presidential suite for us. After settling my daughter in, I soaked in the bath and called my ex-husband. Both of the apartments our family lived in were provided because of his connections, yet my brother and mother took them for granted as their own. I told my ex-husband that I wanted to take the family to another city for a change of scenery and to heal. I asked him to take back the apartments and convert them into cash for me. Feeling guilty, he was very agreeable and saw it as a chance to make amends, immediately agreeing to my request. The other apartment, which I had bought before marriage for my mother, was somehow under my brother's name. I asked my ex-husband to recommend a top lawyer. I told him the situation. The lawyer said that without a gift agreement, it might be possible to reclaim the property. Thinking back to how hard I worked before marriage and how I continued to support my family after, only to be treated as an ATM and kicked out when they no longer needed me, my heart turned cold. Just as I was feeling sorrowful, another $50 million was deposited into my account. My ex-husband was generous and quick with the transfer. As he said, he still wanted to win me back, but if I didn't want to, he felt he owed me this compensation. Fine, no more sadness. With money, looks, and a daughter, I, Divina, am a winner in life. I have more money than I can spend in a lifetime. I slept soundly all night. In addition to the house, I also demanded shares of the company from my ex-husband. I said I needed to support our daughter in the future. Without hesitation, he agreed and completed the transaction. Half a month later, I became the boss of the company. With my daughter, I bought a luxurious house and car, started full-body beauty treatments, and felt rejuvenated by 10 years. Divorce? So what? My ex-husband was groveling and young men were chasing after me. In this state, I easily passed the interview and joined my own company. I plan to keep a low profile to observe the company's atmosphere. One day while I was working diligently, I received a call from my mother. Anticipating her reaction, I distanced my phone, yet I could still hear her angry voice. Divina, you unfilial daughter? What have you done? The house has been auctioned off? And what about the other 2 properties? What do you mean they've been reclaimed? Now the tenants are causing a scene and we have nowhere to go. You better come home and handle this immediately. I laughed. Didn't you say it wasn't my home? Where should I go back to? Jane cursed over the phone. Divina, are you even human? Andy was expelled from school and has no place to go. What does that have to do with me? My mother threatened. Just wait. You think you can act tough, don't you? I'll make you pay for our support. I chuckled. Mom, I'm just an unemployed drifter now, so I can't provide much support money. But don't worry, I know a lawyer. I'll definitely sue Andrew first for not supporting our parents. Hearing this, my mother, distressed for her precious son, cried out. Fine, just you wait. You think you're untouchable now, don't you? Let me tell you, Andrew has connections now. I sneered, truly eager to see what would happen. If it weren't for me, Andrew wouldn't even have a job and would still be a stay-at-home bum. After hanging up, my old colleague Emily came to find me. Divina, there's a team building event tonight. You should join us. The team leader will be there too. I'll introduce you. Why didn't I see the team leader during the interview? I wondered. Emily explained that the leader was quite busy, but the surrounding employees exchanged looks and smirked disdainfully. Clearly, something was amiss. That evening, during the outdoor lamb roast, I was greeting employees from various departments while gnawing on a lamb leg when I heard a sharp voice questioning, Divina, why are you here? Who hired you? It was Jane. Immediately, a sycophantic employee approached me and whispered that Jane was the team leader's wife, and that family members were allowed at the event. To my surprise, the unreliable team leader was my brother. I was contemplating firing him when Jane began publicly humiliating me. Do you know she has no skills? She just leeches off men. She's completely unqualified and should be fired immediately. Emily, who interviewed me, immediately vouched for me. That's inappropriate. Divina is quite capable, and everyone can see that. She then turned to me. Is there a misunderstanding? I smiled and shook my head. No, she's my sister-in-law. The onlookers were intrigued. My brother, drunk, was dragged over by Jane and pointed at me, cursing. Divina, you're homeless now, aren't you? I'm going to fire you right now. Before he could finish, the tardy general manager saw me and respectfully addressed me. President Smith, what are you doing here? I was just about to report the annual work plan to you. Search 307777 on NovelShort to read more.